Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch. Yes, brought to you by, incredibly enough, thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. This is live stream 881. It's your first time joining me. Let me point out, super casual around here. We are certainly not performing rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking a first look at a tabletop game. So tonight, I am going to dive on in for a first look and page through of Vaesen, A Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries from Free League Publishing. So we're going to be diving on into that in just a little bit. Well, maybe a little more than a little bit. So if you are not overly familiar with how this stream works, let me point out we always tackle the tabletop gaming news first. So if you are tuning in because you want to take a peek at A Wicked Secret, let me point out it'll probably be about 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes before we jump on in. So if you're watching live, just kick up your feet, relax, take a break, take it easy on yourself. Hell, yeah, maybe jump in a chat. I'll mention that in just a moment. But if you are watching this stream 30 minutes or more after it is ended and you're the impatient type, then you can actually jump right on ahead into that first look because there are timestamps. They are located in the show notes, or depending on the device you might be watching this on, could be right there in the timeline in front of your nose. So those will be available 30 minutes after the stream ends. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, don't forget, visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you will not find on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Lastly, because this is a live stream, there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Yet another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you get a question or a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. First out the gate tonight is the Happy Wargamer. Kevin R. Smith is with us as well as Christopher Rush. So Christopher Rush says they're looking forward to this first look, but they can't hang out. They're going to have to catch the show on Memorex. Well, thanks for popping on in to say howdy. So cool. All right. So quiet chat to start off the night with. But that's okay. Not a problem. Can't expect to have, 20 people hanging out every night or 20 people or more. So, Roger Prudhomme is with us. Howdy, Roger. Welcome aboard. So let's jump on into the news. Because arriving February 22nd or 28th, I've been hearing two different things, from Arcane Wonders is mobile markets, or Maybe it's pronounced mobile markets. Regardless, here's the dope. After the big market shift, you are the CEO of a multinational consumer electronics company ready for new mobile technologies generation. It's a new world where national markets transform into the one global field of corporate competition. And you must be ready to satisfy any demands of very different types of customers all around the world. Technological features, journalists' reviews, and consumer ratings are your instruments in this race. Make up your business plan, research and develop new technologies, and promote your smartphones by launching marketing campaigns for victory. Oh, and one more thing. It's a very busy market, so keep your eyes wide open. Competitors do not sleep. In mobile markets, a smartphone Inc. game, you will set prices for your smartphones, develop technologies, launch marketing campaigns, produce smartphones, and sell them to your customers. The goal of the game is to earn more money than your competitors. Consider your money as your victory points. The scoring track allows you to keep track of the amount of accumulated wealth. On each turn, you'll receive money, mainly by selling manufactured smartphones to customers. Some of the technology cards and marketing campaigns will bring you extra money. Also, at the end of each round, players who have a larger number of goods will receive extra income. Mobile Markets is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 40 to 80 minutes, and it will carry an MSRP of $49.99 when it hits stores towards the end of next month. So I find it kind of interesting because I know Arcane Wonders has Smartphone Inc. And I don't know if this is from the same designers, but it does have kind of the same theme. You're developing technologies, you're selling smartphones. I think this is maybe more of a trimmed down version of Smartphone Inc. Or maybe this focuses more on the consumer side with your various different customers that you're looking to please. That's very possible as well. 245 Trioxin and Viper Dave are here with us in chat. Welcome, gents. Nice to have you join us. So, this looks kind of cool. And I got to admit, it's kind of an interesting topic, right? You're running a cell phone company, or well, I guess we'll say consumer electronics company, right? Trying to get ahead. Could be kind of cool. The Madman has joined us. Welcome aboard. So we've got 2. Or do we? No, we only have. Oh, that's the Madman's the first of our chat moderators to pop in tonight. So welcome, welcome. All right. Anyway, let's jump on into our next news piece because there's another February release, which is supposed to arrive at the same time as this. And I am talking about Vaesen from 25th Century Games. And here's what I know. The widespread use of armorial bearings in the Middle Ages gave rise to a new occupation of herald. These heralds had the responsibility of learning and maintaining the rules and protocols governing the design and description or blazoning of arms. Blazon allows you to become a herald, carefully selecting the right elements for your shield board and earning distinctions through shrewd play. Earn your rank through the accumulation of prestige as you blazon your shield to distinguish yourself among your peers and be crowned the King of Arms. The use of various symbols and devices to signify individuals and groups dates to the age of antiquity. Warriors often decorated their shields with patterns and mythological creatures. Heraldry refers to the design, display, and study of armorial bearings, a shield used to identify a person or family. The concepts and systems of regular heraldic designs were developed by heraldic officers between the years 1000 and 1300 AD during a period known as the High Middle Ages. Yeah, were they all high? Is that what they're trying to say here? Originally conceived to assist with identification in battle, the beauty and intricacy of various heraldic designs meant that they survived the abandonment of armor on the battlefield and preserved the honor of the family line. To this day, we still see their use by individuals, organizations, corporations, towns, cities, and regions. To blazon arms means to describe them in the language of heraldry, which is its own vocabulary, syntax, and grammar based strongly on an anglicized version of Norman French. A game of blazon allows you to act as a herald, designing your own heraldic shield by acquiring elements, placing them on your shield board, and earning distinctions through careful choices. Blazon is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays around 30 to 60 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $40 when it arrives at the end of February. So this is another game that I've gotten. 2 different distributors have 2 different days. So one says it's February 22nd, the other says it's February 28th. So we'll say end of February. So we've got a few more folks popping on into chat. Sarah D says, you said 2 chat moderators because you know I'm always in the shadows. Well, I wasn't sure. I kind of assumed, but, don't want to assume and then be like, oh, Sarah D is with us and I'm talking to Sarah D. And, you're not watching that night. So the Madman says they've been busy in Fantasy Grounds putting some maps together for their Adventures in Middle Earth game tomorrow. Yes, there you go. There you have it. So let's see. Who else? Kathy Evans popped in and Stephen Dukensky, who I believe might be visiting with us for the first time. That name's not ringing a bell. So watch. Stephen's going to say, no, I've been here a bunch of times, dude. I don't know what you're thinking. Tessie Trekkie has also joined us in chat. So yes, this does look like an interesting game. So I do believe what you're looking at here are some prototype elements because this had a Kickstarter. And I think some of the other things, like right now, you're taking a look at a prototype. So I do want to point out some of these like tokens that you're seeing, I think are from the deluxe edition of Blazon. And I think that carries an MSRP of $50 if you can find it. But the retail edition is going to be $40. And this is something different. I'll tell you that much. Sounds kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right, let's move on to some role-playing game news because currently up for crowdfunding is Adventures in the Cypher System. Here's the latest from Monte Cook Games. Numenera, Old Gods of Appalachia role-playing game. The Strange, Tidal Blades role-playing game, and other tabletop role-playing games are all powered by the Cypher System. With the Cypher System rulebook, it can also power any campaign you can imagine. If you played already, you probably love it. If you haven't, it's about to become your favorite role-playing game. Because either way, the upcoming campaign has something for you. I guess I should say the current campaign, because I believe it launched today. From a new starter set to a hefty new genre book series to a stunning new deluxe edition of the Cypher System rulebook itself, plus additional titles, which will unlock through stretch goals, this exciting campaign is loaded with Cypher System goodness for new players and old. Gather your friends, open the box, and begin playing right away. The Cypher System is easy to learn and fun to play, and the Cypher System starter set, say that 5 times fast, is perfect for getting started. The box starter set includes the game rules in an easy-to-learn format, along with pre-generated characters and several adventures. Ultimately, you'll need the Cypher System rulebook to build your own campaigns and explore everything the Cypher system has to offer. Fortunately, every pledge level includes the Cypher system rulebook in PDF for free. So yes, even if you get only the starter set, you will get the PDF of the Cypher system rulebook. But if you just want to try it out or teach new players, the Cypher system starter set is a fun and inexpensive way to learn the game. And since every pledge level once again includes a copy of that 448-page Cypher system rulebook in PDF for free, fulfilled shortly after the pledge manager closes, you can dig into this awesome game system right away. There is a short video. This is not on Kickstarter. This is on BackerKit, just so you know. But there's a short video we will take a peek at right now.
The world is over. Civilization lies in ruins. The question is, what do you do now? Do you fight, trying to claim a piece of what's left for yourself? The world likely holds many challenges. Or do you look for a glimmer of hope, not just surviving, but making a new world from the ruins? Perhaps even a better world. But maybe the world isn't over. Maybe it's exactly what you see out your window right now, with a few small changes. Magical changes. In this world, some people have secrets that make the difficulties of modern life a little bit easier. This world, too, has its share of dangers. Is your magical knowledge up to the task? Rust and Redemption. It's only magic. 2 new books for the Cypher system. In the tradition of The Stars Are Fire, Stay Alive, We Are All Mad Here, Godforsaken, and Claim the Sky. These source books present a variety of options to players to portray new genres for amazing campaigns. Each even includes a ready-to-use campaign setting and adventures to get you going quickly if you want. While these 2 books form the heart of this campaign, we're also including a brand new deluxe version of the Cypher System rulebook and a Cypher System starter set to make it even easier for new players and GMs to jump right in. And of course, who knows what other books and materials might be unlocked in the campaign. Thank you for your support. We love providing you with new ways to expand your own Cypher System gaming options, and we're really excited about these new additions.
You can reserve a copy of the Cypher System starter set for a $30 pledge, or score both the starter set and that deluxe hardcover of the core rules for a $70 pledge through February 24th. Of course, there are other items that are available through this crowdfunding project, including some setting books and some supplements as well. The deluxe edition is scheduled to arrive in June. And then the starter set has an expected delivery in early 2024. And Kevin points out that they have backed this because they want the 2 new genre books. Are they new genre books, though? That's what I was kind of curious about. Because I could have sworn I've seen those before in PDF. But then again, the art style for their like supplements recently tends to be similar in style. So maybe that's why I think I've seen these before. I don't know. I'm not sure. So there you have it. If you have not checked out the Cypher system, this is a good way to get on board by checking out that starter set, and you'll get that free PDF, which I would take a stab is probably around $20 or so normally for the core rule book. So Kevin also points out that he's pretty sure there is a free rules primer on the Monte Cook Games site. I think you are correct. I think there might even be one on DriveThruRPG too. So, not positive. Flaming Huron has joined us. So we've got 3 of our 4 chat moderators hanging out. We might have our 4th. I don't know. Could be Eddie, Mr. Eddie T could be lurking. Kevin says he thinks the core book PDF is usually $22. So you figure if you were to, say, pledge $30 for that starter set, you'll get a copy of the PDF for the rule book and the starter set for $30. That's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. Wancho Dumagal is with us, as is Roll for Combat. So I'm taking a guess it is Steven from Roll for Combat. I think he's who's rolling with that nickname. So Stephen D mentions that they just downloaded the Cypher primer and it's 30 pages plus character sheets. You know, that's not too bad. It's not too bad for a quick start. I've seen some quick starts that are like, 8 pages. Then I've seen some quick starts that are like 80 pages. It's like, holy cow. All right, moving right along. There is a new money-saving offer, which is available from Bundle of Holding. And it features the 6th edition of the Champions role-playing game. I've got the deets on the deal. Watch out, hero. This resurrected February 2021 Champion 6E bundle is the second of 2 offers now in progress, featuring the 2009 6th edition of the Hero System tabletop role-playing game rules from Hero Games. So, there's like I want to say it's Champions Universe. They're actually all told, I want to say, I think there's 3 bundles going on right now for the Hero System over at Bundle of Holding. But this one features the core rules. So for just $12.95, you'll get all 4 titles in this revived offers character collection, which has a retail value of $65. You'll get these DRM free PDFs, which include the standalone Champions Complete Rulebook, the 60 Champions Universe Setting Book Powers, and a collection of pre-generated superhero characters, Book of Templates. So it says 4 titles. That's 3? I mean, that by my calculations, it's 3. I don't know. Unless it's the Champions Universe Setting Book and then Powers. But the weird thing is, if you pay more than the threshold price currently of $40.03, you'll level up. Also get this Revival's entire campaign collection with 6 more titles worth an additional $97.50, including the 6E Champions Universe Setting Book. That's why I don't think it's part of the $12.95 collection, because they're saying it's part of this bonus, right? The entire campaign collection. Also includes the galaxy-spanning Champions Beyond, all 3 volumes of the Villains Trilogy, Volume 1, Master Villains, Volume 2, Team Villains, and Volume 3, Solo Villains, as well as the Book of the Empress, which is about one of the big bads, as well as the Booklet of the Empress, a 45-page bonus collection of characters provided to backers of the December 2011 Kickstarter campaign, and which is not available on DriveThruRPG. These savings will run through February 20th, and 10% of your payment after gateway fees will be donated to Direct Relief. Nice to see a bundle, working for charity again. Recently, the bundles we've been sharing from Bundle of Holding have not benefited any charities, so good to see even if it's kind of the default of direct relief, at least it's a charity that's being helped out by one of these bundles. Shaz is with us in chat. Thanks for popping on in. So I should mention, interestingly enough, tomorrow we are going to be taking a first look at the Fantasy Hero Complete from Hero Games, which uses the 6th edition rule set. So, kind of little serendipitous bundle here, I must say. So, Roger points out back in the days, in the 80s, their group dumped champions for villains and vigilantes. Good old times. Funny thing is, we started off with villains and vigilantes when it came out. And then I know we had picked up champions when that eventually came out, but I don't think we ever played it. We played a little bit of villains and vigilantes, but we really didn't jump in it to champions for whatever reason. I don't know why. Kevin says they think the lack of charity was because a lot of the open gaming bundles were thrown together quickly. I don't know. I mean, how tough is it to say, okay, so this is going to benefit the San Francisco Marin County Food Bank, like, say, Goodman Games usually does. So I don't know about that. I mean, you could throw together a bundle pretty quick and still toss out, like, for direct relief, right? I mean, we know that's already set up through Bundle of Holding. Kevin asked Roger, got tired of doing advanced math on every die roll? Russell Higgins is with us from Frozen Big D, Dallas. Yeah, I saw the news. A lot of people slipping and sliding out there on the highways. I drove through Dallas one time and it snowed and people were like freaking out. And the snow really wasn't even sticking. But they were like, oh my, I can't believe it's snowing. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't realize you guys never get any snow, really. Although, strangely enough, it seems like, you're seeing some climate change taking place in Texas. So Kevin points out Dallas, one of those places where nobody knows how to drive in the snow. Washington, D.C. would be another place like that, where I was there, they got 2 or 3 inches of snow and they shut everything down. People were abandoning their cars on the highway in 2 inches of snow. Flaming Heron says the weather is just going crazy. Yeah, one of these days, hopefully, we get this under control, but I don't know. All righty then. So, on to, I don't know why that's weird. I'm not sure why we're getting that other image there. Anyway, on to our last news piece. Modiphius Entertainment has released the core books for the Raiders of the Serpent Sea 5e D&D setting in PDF. I've got the scoop. Raiders of the Serpent Sea is a blend of high fantasy and a darker world of grim seafaring raiders. Grimnir's clans constantly fight to survive in this doomed world filled with ancient and fantastic creatures. Giants, sea serpents, saber-toothed tigers, and the world-devouring Jotun. Nowhere is safe. Danger and glory abound. The Raiders of the Serpent Sea Player's Guide PDF includes over 75 pages of fantastically, strangely enough, why are we getting these two different stories popping out here like this? This is a little strange here. All right, hopefully nothing crazy is going on with ye old computer. Let's take a quick peek here. Almost looks like it's taking the last image from each of these news pieces. Yeah, that's what it's doing. For some reason, it's switching them around. Kind of weird. Anyway, this player's guide includes world history, gods, lore, character options, and everything a new raider needs to begin their epic journey. An introduction to Grimnir, a new campaign setting inspired by Norse myth that can be connected to any other campaign world, but one with a special link to Thele. I think it's Thele, the lost continent from Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. It introduces the world, its origins, and major historical events. Learn about the cursed gods known as the Stone Court, the wealthy kingdoms that threaten the raiders, and the power of sacrifice. It includes new races and class archetypes, a variety of new playable races, and archetypes inspired by Norse legends and Viking history. Play as the half-giant tall folk, deep forest wolf riders, wooden constructs, raid leaders, and prophetic bards. It includes 6 epic backgrounds for heroes to select during character creation. These enhanced backgrounds develop interconnected motivations for the heroes, making them central to the story and world. Plus, new spells, weapons, food, and mead help bring the world and your characters to life. And it introduces statistics for a variety of ships likely to be discovered on the Serpent Sea. The Raiders of the Serpent Sea Campaign Guide PDF includes almost 500 pages of epic adventure and supplemental material with full color maps and illustrations that breathe life into the campaign world. It includes an epic saga. The primary narrative is divided into 4 main acts across 12 chapters, with numerous opportunities for players to build long ships, conquer settlements, and even assemble their own clan to stand against their foes at the end of the world. Tracking events. You'll be able to take a look at diagrams and aids to help the game master stay on top of world events and to track the decisions that the heroes make. These decisions influence the final events at the climax of the campaign. Includes details on how to integrate the 6 epic backgrounds introduced in the player's guide into campaign events. These backgrounds create additional motivation for the heroes to explore more of the world. It includes full-page illustrations and detailed game statistics and lore for over 25 new creatures inspired by Norse mythology. There are over 100 new stat blocks for NPCs and monsters. Over 40 new magic items, including Hellhelm, the Skith Ship, and the Horn of the Gods. These items can be discovered by hardy adventurers exploring the world of Grimnir. Raid the Serpent Sea. This includes expanded naval, sailing, and raiding rules to help the game master provide opportunities for players to imagine themselves as Vikings setting forth across dangerous waters. The 82-page Raiders of the Serpent Sea Player's Guide is available in PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $8, while the 498-page Raiders of the Serpent Sea Campaign Guide can be had in PDF for $25. Nice. Although, I got to point out, the pricing seems weird. You would think the pricing should be, the player's guide should be like $5 and the campaign guide $25, because you're getting, the player's guide is 82 pages, it's $8, but then you get almost 500 pages for $25. Little odd. And who just mentioned, there you go, it was Russell, because I had thought the same thing. Russell's curious, why didn't Modiphius just do their own 2D20 system for this? I think this is put together, this is another product that was put together by an outside company that Modiphius Entertainment is publishing. So I think that's why. Because we have seen some of those, more of those releases lately. It's almost as if, I know back in, I don't know, about 2012, about 10 years ago. Cubicle 7 Entertainment published a lot of stuff that was created by other publishers that they were kind of the like the bookmaker for these companies. And Modiphius has kind of taken over that role a little bit in Europe. So I think that's why they didn't make this 2D20, because they actually did not put this together. Just like we had the news piece yesterday about Iron Sworn Starforged. Sean Tompkins created that. That was not done in-house at Modiphius. So I think that's it. I think that's the reasoning behind that. So our friend Chen from Taiwan has joined us in chat. Thanks for stopping on in. And that is it for the news tonight. Yes, a good eclectic mix of news. So I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Don't forget, the gaming gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, DriveThruRPG, well, I don't know, maybe you're kind of interested in that Raiders of the Serpent Sea we were just talking about, be sure to stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Of course, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you find the gaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always swing on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation. And thank you to everybody out there who uses our banner ads and or stops on by. PayPal.me. It is certainly appreciated quite a lot. Quite a lot. The website would not be around without you. That is for certain. And I don't even know if we'd be doing this show without you as well. So Flaming Heron says, going to say it seems like Modiphius is doing what Cubicle 7 used to do. Yeah. Beat you to the punch. So Flaming Heron says they must admit they were always a sucker for Norse-themed games. Russell Higgins says, not me. Lankmar did me in the 80s. I'm a huge Fritz Leiber fan. Really, really. I love it. Every year, in fact, it was very recently, I listened to the audiobooks once again. I do it every year because I listen to audiobooks when I go to bed. So it was time for my yearly return to listening to the audiobooks that Audible put together, which were really well done. Really, really nicely done. Okie doke. So we're going to jump on in. We're going to be looking at Vaesen, A Wicked Secret, and Other Mysteries in a few minutes. First of all, I did want to mention, you may have caught my video where it was kind of like, my final video on the open game license fiasco, which it is. I'm not sharing more videos. And I know there were some commenters out there. Oh, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. No, I said I wasn't going to share any more standalone videos, but I didn't say I wouldn't talk about the open game license again. I even said in that video I would probably make mention of it during one of the live streams, as Rapscallion J has joined us. So it's not something I'm going to go into a big long spiel about, but I gotta say, boy, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro sure did crumble, didn't they? And I had said it looked like they were wavering and backing off. And, I have to laugh. If I took the commenters on videos or the people who on occasion send me nasty emails, if I really took them seriously, I would not do this. Because and the funny thing is, it's got to be really rude for me just to delete the comment, which I do. I did a lot with those open game license videos because there were some people who were just like, "Oh, you're just an apologist for Wizards of the Coast." I was like, really? Because I was ripping Wizards of the Coast a new asshole in the first video. But I was also saying that, that wasn't necessarily something that was set in stone with that open game license 1.1. And then they rolled out that 1.2. It's like, wasn't set in stone with that either. So good work to everybody out there who was like, you know what? You're not getting my money anymore, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. So, because they just caved on that one. But, so Stephen from Roll for Combat is pointing out that they had another video out there today. So Kevin says, to be fair, I don't think anyone ever expected them to back off on deauthorizing the Open Game License 1.0A. I didn't think they were going to completely just say, yeah, forget it. We're just going to make everything Creative Commons. I didn't think they were going to do that. But when I started hearing the numbers of people who were canceling their D&D Beyond subscriptions, I had a feeling that the days of that Open Game License 1.1 or 1.2 were going to be numbered, because it was, from what I heard, it was over 1 million cancellations. Now, I don't know how many people actually subscribe to D&D Beyond. Can't be, I don't think it's more than 3 million people. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the exact numbers on that, but I know it was a lot of people. So what I was going to say is, now it just seems there's some people out there who they just want to continue to just whinge along about all this. So somebody had commented about, well, what about this new edition? So it's going to have a new open game license for this new edition. And what about the people who are going to make virtual tabletop releases for the new edition? They're all going to be screwed. And it's kind of like, okay, so once again, I'm not sticking up for Wizards of the Coast. I review their stuff, and I tell you when they release shitty adventures and things like that. It's like, I don't sit there and be like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons. But when they release something good, I also tell you, hey, this is pretty good. Anywho, I mean, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro do have the right to make money off their IP. They do. I mean, it's theirs. They own it. Now, what is considered to be under copyright could be up for interpretation, but still, it is their IP. They own it. So for the people out there who are like, oh, well, when this 6th edition comes out, mark my words, I keep telling you, it is going to be a 6th edition. It is not 5.5. So if they decide they want to have a different game license for that 6th edition, that is well within their rights. But you know what else is well within everyone else's rights is not write content for it. And, I get it. There are a lot of people out there. We just talked about something from Modiphius Entertainment, which is for 5e D&D. I mean, you put that on your game, it goes a long way to helping you make money on it. So, nobody's putting a gun to any content creator's head, any third-party content creator's head, saying, oh, you must design for 6th edition and sign their new game license or agree to whatever, they're concocting. Nobody's making you do that. It's a big win, at least in my opinion, for the hobby, because Open Game License 1.0a is intact. It's not going to change. So all of your favorite retro clones and games are concocted from those skeletons, I guess we'll say, like even like Pathfinder. There were concerns about Pathfinder. That's all safe. So to me, that's a huge win. Another huge win is how many people were exposed to role-playing games they'd never heard of. How many people out there were like, oh, well, it's, it's Dungeons and Dragons and, maybe Pathfinder. Maybe they knew about Pathfinder and Starfinder, but maybe they didn't know about Call of Cthulhu or Index Card role-playing game or hundreds of other RPGs that now they know about, and now they're like, I'm interested. That's why Paizo is sold out of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition core book. I don't know if you're aware of that. They had an 8-month supply, and it sold out in 2 weeks. So they don't have any stock available. They have a new order they put in to get another print run going. So that won't be available until April. I also heard Chaosium Inc. has seen a big run on Call of Cthulhu, as well as RuneQuest and basic role-playing. So to me, that's great news for the hobby. I think that's fantastic news for the hobby. But once again, to me, it just doesn't make sense to just sit there and keep complaining about Wizards of the Coast. Well, what about their 7th edition, that comes out in 15 years? What are they going to do with that? Those bastards. Who knows? And obviously, who cares? So, all right. So, Roll for Combat points out, yes, Battlezoo stuff is selling out like crazy. So, a lot of stuff going on in chat. Let me just jump back through here, see if there was anything, because I know in chat you guys discuss amongst yourselves as well. So Roll for Combat says they have a mailing list of 13 million. So that would be D&D Beyond. He doesn't expect more than 500,000 are paying subscribers, and they lost at least 40 to 50K subs right away. Yeah, I forget where that 1 million number came from, and I thought, man, that is a huge number of people who subscribe. I was like, oh, I guess they know better than I do. So, so Kevin says, won't be surprised if they don't just do away with books for 6e 1D&D. That was what I had heard was kind of their game plan. And we've talked about this before, that Wizards of the Coast, and really, let's be honest, it's Hasbro, wants to put as much of Dungeons and Dragons as it can behind a paywall. Okay, they can do it. I'm not going to sit there and rip on them for doing it. But the thing is, they won't see much coverage from us. So Flaming Heron says, too many people were so enamored by anything that Wizards of the Coast did. I wonder where they sit now. Well, you had people whose channels and outlets all revolved around D&D, and that was probably very scary for them for a short period of time, because they were kind of thinking, well, there goes the cash cow. Of course, there were tons. I mentioned this in the other video. Tons of views on the D&D Open Game License videos. But if your channel was simply built around talking D&D, I think you're probably sweating it a little bit there. Anyway, Kevin says, I figure they want to transition to all virtual tabletop by 7th edition, but I suspect those plans are accelerating now. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me. Coco B is with us. So Coco B points out, yes, it's great if there isn't a monopoly on the hobby. The funny thing is, and this will be the last thing, and then we're gonna move along. To me, and we see a lot of outlets who really didn't cover role-playing games or tabletop games, and they were all sharing their opinions on the open game license fiasco and things like that, partially because it got to the point where anything that was not anything, but a lot of stuff that was popping out there was just clickbait. It was just to drag you in to take a peek. And there were far too many people from outside the hobby who were, claiming expertise and acting as if Dungeons and Dragons is the only role-playing game. It wasn't that long ago that Pathfinder outsold Dungeons and Dragons all the time. A lot of people don't realize that Pathfinder blew the doors off of D&D for a few years. So that could easily happen once again. Anyway, like I said, I've got nothing against Wizards of the Coast. I mentioned it in both of those videos. But if they do something, if they're assholes, I'll tell you they're assholes, right? So I'm not going to sit there and kiss their asses. Never have, never will. Not going to start now. Lord Cost 2000 is with us. Welcome aboard. All right. So as I had mentioned previously, we are going to be taking a look at Vaesen, a wicked secret and other mysteries in just a few moments. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
I am the captain of the good ship Pleasure. Come join the crew in search of a treasure. The treasure has been sighted from the old crow's nest. Be prepared to find what you like best. There's candy for you of quality fine. In fact, an assortment that is so divine. The soda pop is cold, just name your brand. The ice cream is delicious and it's right at hand. If it's popcorn you want, well, take my cue. We have the very finest in the world for you. Just steer a course straight up the aisle. We'll have an intermission for a little while.
Old Virginia, 300 years ago, Captain John Smith and Pocahontas shot their meat, aged it slow. They smoked it and they spiced it too, for flavor at its best. Genuine Smithville barbecue surpasses all the rest.
Yes, folks, it's 300 years of tradition and taste you savor when you ask for a Smithfield barbecue James River brand at our refreshment center. In each flavorful morsel of meat, you can smell the hickory, oak, and applewood and taste the rare herbs and spices required for its cure. Here is truly a fresh new taste from an ancient recipe.
No for deep down flavor of the Smithfield country kind. Just step by the clear neighbor, find your taste, and lose your mind. Yeah!
Wherefore art thou, Romeo, and whereof is my Wilkins instant coffee?
The coffee's all gone.
Well, so am I.
I'm Tony the Tiger, gang. We're building a new sign for Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. Careful with that board, boy. Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes are... they're good. Sometimes I think he's fighting me. Hey, boy, watch that. Boy, better let the man do the talking.
Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. Tony knows they're great. Great big flakes of corn sparkling with a secret sugar frosting. With milk or right out of the box. They'll put a tiger on your team.
Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. They're great. Great.
You also get Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes in the handy Kellogg's Snack Pack. 2 each of your favorite ready-sweetened cereal.
Did you see the razor sharp teeth on Tony the Tiger there? Yowza! Flaming Heron points out, Wontkins got turned down. Yes, Wontkins won't be having a date That is for sure. Lord Coss is pointing out that chivalry and sorcery is really complex, because we were talking about this yesterday, because there is a $1.99 basic rule PDF for chivalry and sorcery. And I had mentioned, I had always heard it is possibly the most complex fantasy role-playing game that is out there. Rapscallion J also pointed out that Pathfinder First Edition was actually one of their longest running campaigns as a GM. I like Pathfinder. I will point out, if you check my reviews of like Starfinder and Pathfinder Adventures, I find them to be, I think they're good. I think the concepts are good, but I would tear them apart and rebuild them, simply because I come from like an old school mentality. So some of the stuff where it's like, oh, well, you're just rolling, a challenge, and, oh, well, I rolled high enough, I succeed. That's not how it works in my game table. You got to tell me what you do. Flaming Heron points out that Frosted Flakes, they're great. So today we are going to be diving on in and taking a first look at Vaesen, A Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries from Free League Publishing. It's written by Niels Heinz, Thomas Harenstam, Gabriel Dubourg, and Kiku Puck Harenstam, with artwork provided by Johan Eggerskranz and Anton Vitus. I guarantee I've mispronounced at least half of those names, so my apologies. So, this 112-page hardcover is available now. It's been out for a bit, and it carries an MSRP of $39.99, or you can grab the PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got A Wicked Secret. I mean, the book is a wicked secret. I don't actually have personally a wicked secret. Well, I do personally have a wicked secret because it's sitting right here on camera, but I don't have a, you know what I mean. Before we dive on in, fine folks over at Free League Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. This is an adventure book. There are 4 adventures within, I do believe. So if you're a player hoping that your game master is going to run A Wicked Secret or the other mysteries, then I would probably recommend you tune out. But you can let your game master know about this video so they can take a peek, maybe get a better feel for what's in this book. Speaking of better feel, we're not going to look at each and every page, but I do want to give you a good idea of what's in this book. So Rapscallion J says they have a player who still whimpers when pugwumpies are mentioned. So Kevin says it looks like chivalry and sorcery is a little like Palladium riffs. They really love acronyms that make everything sound really technical. I'm not sure the mechanics are that hard, but it's a tough read. Aha. All right. Let's take a look at the back here. If you hear the sound of fleeing birds, snapping branches, and loud footsteps, you shall be its next victim. Pray then that your fate will be swift, for staring into its infernal gaze can plunge even the purest mind into madness. Journey to the mythic north and investigate 4 bone-chilling cases that will test your abilities to the fullest. This book contains 4 standalone mysteries for Vaesen, Nordic horror role-playing, playable on their own or as part of a longer campaign. In these pages, you will find the Silver of the Sea. The death of a preacher leads the characters to the rocky western archipelago where something strange is afoot on Wrecker Isle. A Wicked Secret. Travel to the deep forests of northern Sweden and investigate rumors of a murderous beast in a remote village. What ancient evil lurks there? The Night Sow. Welcome to beautiful Mole, a city by the sea, known to many as the heart of sin, and also for cold-blooded murder. And the Song of the Falling Star. A cursed child, a strange instrument, and a desperate aristocrat travel to Aaronsburg on the island of Osel. I know I'm not pronouncing any of these correctly. And discover the horrible truth about what has happened there. All right. So Rapscallion Chase says that the Pugwumpies are wretched creatures who idolize kobolds. Not a danger, but when they're close, you roll every roll at disadvantage. They're like bad luck generators, huh? One took a liking to the player and followed them everywhere. Nice. Mysteries are the heart of Vaesen. Brief and focused tales of strange encounters, delicate problems, and heart-pounding horror, much like the short stories of Selma Lagerlof, M.R. James, and Edgar Allan Poe. Speaking of Poe, anybody check out The Pale Blue Eye? I enjoyed it. I liked it quite a bit. Could have done without the ending. I think the ending kind of was a little anticlimactic. I think if you've seen it, you know where they should have ended it. This book contains 4 mysteries from across the mythic north, letting the players face 4 powerful Vaesen on their own lands. All right, so we've got the Silver of the Sea. This mystery for the role-playing game Vaesen, well, we already know that because we picked up the book, brings the player characters to the wild and barren Swedish west coast. At the time, a haven for privateers, wreckers, herring barons. I am a herring baron. Yes. Enjoy that herring. And other riffraff. So herring barons were riffraff? I don't know. They're the ones saying it. I'm not saying it. The mystery will test the character's deductive reasoning, social skills, and, if they are not careful, their ability to fight for their lives. All right. One aspect of the series of releases for Vaesen, I like the artwork. The artwork throughout just has this kind of unique style. Kind of has like an animation sort of vibe to it without being too cartoony. So, Flaming Heron says, so multiple adventures, or is there some connecting thread? Well, according to the back, you could string the 4 of them together as a single campaign, but, you know, we've seen releases like that where it's like, oh, well, you can run all 5 adventures as part of a campaign, and there's very little that actually ties them together. So I'm not sure. It does say you could use this as a campaign. So we got Pete and Pace. Obviously, they are evil twins. They certainly look evil. It's the Herring Baron. I am the archipelago. That's a quote right there. That is their quote. Well, I'm seeing some spoilers already, just as I'm looking through. I'm not mentioning them, but my eye is catching certain things. And I'm like, oh, better turn the page here. Hold on. Actually, looked like we had a giveaway right there. So I'm going to skip past that image I almost revealed. So I'm wondering if this is, I was going to say, is this a Kelpie? But it says here it's a mermaid. Because I thought, aren't Kelpie like mermaids, but they tend to be evil? Rapscallion J says, Free League books are awesome. I've said it before, but you really get good value for your buck with the quality of their products. Usually. I will say usually. I've got a review coming for a recent Vaesen supplement that I like, but I honestly feel that it's got way too much like white space, and you're really not getting a ton of bang for the buck. It's still good, but it's not getting a real high review score. So I'm just letting you know. Okay, so then we got a Wicked Secret. So we've got our artwork from the cover here. So Flaming Heron says they do look amazing if nothing else. Rapscallion J says, Kelpie, mermaid, sounds fishy to me. And don't forget, yes, there you go. Flaming Heron mentions, don't forget that herring Baron. August von Meyer. It's about time that civilization came to the north. He's a very wealthy and successful industrialist in his 50s. All right, so let's see. What's the prelude for a Wicked Secret? It says, in which the player characters seek out a small village in the northern woods where they encounter a sawmill, a medieval church, and a guardian beast. This first section describes the background, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I'm not going to get into that. All right, so we're back with August von Meyer again. We've got our map. Kevin says they think there's a lot more white space in the more recent releases. The core book, though, strikes a pretty good balance. Yeah, I agree. Off the top of my head, if I remember right, I think I gave the core book like between 8 and 9 because I did like it. I mean, it is unique. It is a unique setting. It's not just kind of like a ripoff of like Call of Cthulhu or anything like that. It has a specific vibe to the proceedings. So it's got more of a gothic feel than, say, other horror role-playing games normally would. We have couple of NPCs for a Wicked Secret. But yeah, this has a good amount of content in it. Although, once again, like, this is where it's not overwhelming, but you can see here, there is a little too much white space on this page. You should have a little more text up here, a little more text down here. So, I mean, I'm not saying that what's on this page is not useful and good content or anything like that, but your eye catches that and you kind of think, not as much text as I would have expected. And of course, there's our cover artwork. Once again, that is that guardian beast. Then we got the Night Sow. In order to help their old acquaintance, Linnea Elfenclint, the player characters travel to southern Sweden, where they're forced to handle Satanists. Oh, that's good. Puritans, and have often feeding on people's supernatural powers. Mystery takes place during a cold and stormy winter and can easily be set during Christmas time, maybe even on Christmas Eve. Yes. And of course, the most recent adventure compilation, Seasons of Mystery. Pretty sure that's the title. It's like, I think it's Seasons of Mystery. Also has a winter adventure too in that. So Flaming Heron says, I wonder if it's got anything to do with typeface and size. The font size is good. I mean, I've got no issue with that. It's not like some of these releases we see that have really, really small fonts. So, but yeah, it's just strangely enough, it's just, you'll see some pages where it just visually looks like there's not as much content. So here it doesn't really Doesn't really catch the eye because we've got this map here and the map extends all the way down to the bottom here. But as you can see, the text throughout runs a bit low on the page to start. Once again, I'm not knocking this release, but you'll see in the other review, you'll probably be like, yeah, you know what? That's very noticeable. That a lot of the information is very brief as well. Madman says they wish that Free League would have adventure content available for Fantasy Grounds. They have Symborum for 5e, but trying to create all the maps can be a chore. Yeah, that is for certain. All right, so there's the creature. It's a Glossin. Glossin the Vaesen. And then we have the Song of the Falling Star. We're in A Promise is Broken. A Child is Swapped. Ooh, Changelings. Wonder if we got Changelings in here. Although, are Changelings, do Swedish myth and legend have Changelings? I know it's an Irish thing. I think the Scots and the Welsh also have that changeling mythology. Anyway, so we're in A Promise is Broken. A child is swapped. A man is faced with a difficult decision, and two powerful forces collide in the light and shadows of the Kalai crater. All right. So if you're curious, Vaesen tends to be another role-playing game that's scene-based. You don't necessarily have like sandbox adventures. That you kind of have things going on, kind of in acts, but it doesn't tend to be as much of kind of a railroad feel to the adventures as some adventures, some modern style adventures tend to have. So I do like that aspect about the adventures for Vaesen. And they're pretty concise. They're not one issue that a lot of people have, and myself included in some cases, with a lot of like modern design philosophy for adventures is there's just so much backstory that it's just most game masters are just going to info dump on their players. And a lot of the backstory has really nothing to do with the adventure. So it's like, do you really need to know that this closet was used for whatever, if that whatever isn't there anymore? So Rapscallion Jay points out Free League made an announcement a while back that Foundry was their virtual tabletop of choice. It is Foundry is really nice. I'm still messing around with it, so we're just taking a look at some of the handouts for the players. Sweet. We get some. It's like we've got some sketches here as well. All right. That is A Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries for Vaesen from our friends over at Free League Publishing. Keep in mind, once again, that this hardcover is available now. Carries an MSRP of $39.99. I did notice that it is sold out in a lot of locations. So keep that in mind. Although this was sent to me from Free League Publishing, and it was from their U.S. warehouse, I do believe. So it is not like out of print. But I did notice it's sold out from quite a few online retailers. Anyway, $39.99 for the hardcover or $19.99 for the PDF over at DriveThruRPG. And of course, I will have a review of A Wicked Secret and Other Mysteries in the very near future. I've got a bunch of reviews cooking right now. So it's funny because sometimes I sit there and I think, I don't want too much content out there because too many videos cannibalizes views from each other. At least that's something I've noticed that happens on this channel. And then on the flip side, it's like, I really got to get some more content out there. So it's like, but then it's kind of like, do I want to have a new video every day? Because then you're going to get spoiled. Don't eat the mush. It's spoiled. So Rapscallion J says they've used the in-house made Foundry packs for Free League Publishing, and they are awesome. So Jay also points out, I only get to talk with you all here when I'm dog tired through insomnia. See, there you go. So I'm glad that I'm able to help put you to sleep, Jay. It's all about your health. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help everybody go to sleep. All righty. Anyway. So I sit there and I'm like, do I want a new video every single day? That's pretty tough. But you figure, hey, I have the 4 new series. So this weekend, stay tuned because I will have Why You Should Play an X-Card role-playing game. So that will be up this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Tomorrow, we are going to dive on in and we're going to take a look at Fantasy Hero Complete from Hero Games. Don't forget, we were just talking about there are 3 Hero Games bundles of holding that are currently going on. So we're going to be diving on in and taking a peek at this on tomorrow's show. Monday, we are going to dive on into the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1 and filling in the blanks, which are both from Third Kingdom Games. We took a peek at Populated Hexes Monthly the first year on yesterday's show and looked very interesting. Really, really did. Looked like there was tons of content packed into that book. Really, really nicely done. And then, I don't know, maybe it'll be Wednesday's show. We'll take a look at the Grizzled Armistice Edition from Cool Mini or Not. So we'll take a peek at that. So Flaming Heron says he's heard people say Fantasy Hero Complete is best with the knowledge of Hero 6th Edition. Well, I would hope, with it being complete, that you wouldn't really need any other books. So, don't know. I don't know. All right. So, Jay says, yes, it's 2:17 a.m. in their neck of the woods. All righty then. So, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It will not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. Also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my recent review of Pathfinder, the 7th Arch, the first chapter in the new Gatewalkers Adventure Path from Paizo Inc. Find out what I thought about it. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. If you were watching live, thank you very much. If you were watching live and took part in chat, big tip of the cap, because not only do you help keep me company and awake, you also keep each other company and awake, no doubt, maybe. James Eck was with us in chat. As we're wrapping up, I will say hello and goodbye. Anyway, if you watch live, thank you very much. If you took part in chat, a bigger thank you. But of course, I know that everybody has an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy life to watch any of the videos on this channel. So I will be back tomorrow. Everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. And I certainly hope each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
Oh, hey, you're still here. That's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.